Notice where your awareness lands. It likes to gravitate to objects when we close our eyes. When we lose that relationship to visual objects, can land on sounds, memories of sounds, memories of images. Notice where it lands without any prompting. Some of it lands in sensory details, maybe the breath, no sense of trying to control awareness. We have this architecture map of the mind where attention just gets rolled out from a center and rolled back in. We might have an idea that our mindfulness hops from one object to the other. The Buddha likened this type of mindfulness to a spider, like a spider just suddenly appearing, jumping so quickly from one object to the other, just alighting and landing on an object. Some people have a sense of just like a delicate mist or rain of awareness just flowing onto the world instead of just one spider, just a field of flowing awareness field. I find it almost dizzying to be in a relationship with objects one by one, like the spider hopping from, oh, there's this pinprick of a sensation in the arm, there's tightness in the knees, there's the thought, should I move? Just, it's almost exhausting to be in a constant relationship with objects. But there are alternatives, and cultivate a relationship with awareness as a field. So instead of like a clunky arm reaching out and touching everything intentionally that comes into its awareness, it's just already there. There's no extension, no separation from an aware witness or an aware experiencer on the inside and an object on the outside. And I think that's why the Buddha pointed to the breath meditation. It's because it's hard to pin down, not the breath that comes in the nose and goes back out the nose, but the sensorial breath, the way we really experience the breath, is more like a vibrational, energetic field. And it's alive and enlivening or enlivening, energizing. You don't have to say, oh, I don't have enough energy to meditate. There's always energy in this field. Just needs to be tapped into. There's no inside or outside. Awareness is almost like a spider web. As soon as an object comes, even at the extreme, there's a vibration that goes through the whole field. Subtle things get noticed. When the web of the breath reaches out to the edges of the universe, there might be distance in a conventional sense, like barely a thought at the edge of consciousness. It doesn't really form, doesn't really shape into something. You really can't remember a second later what it was, but you have this feeling of things on the edge of the consciousness. So there is a conventional sense of distance with objects. But the web itself is just low vibrations or high vibrations. There's no distance. It's all communicated at once. Could call it background awareness. And the high vibrations are foreground awareness. It's all eternally present. There's an information field that's connected to the breath. And there's intelligence or wisdom there. Call it anything you want, vipassana, insight, clarity, clear seeing. But it's also calming. It's sort of the unity of calm and insight to tap into this sensorial consciousness, this tone to the breath. And there are vibrations from our day that we can honor, maybe meeting deadlines, frustrations around time or people. You can feel the web, the presence vibrating from karmically from what touched it during the day. And in one breath, you can refresh, sort of eliminate karmically any relationship to, just by breathing in such a way that vibrates that web, that connectivity. It can also speak to itself. The fact that it's just empty communicator of experience. It never fully becomes whatever shakes it. It's neutral in a sense. There's something, there's a fullness in the breath. It doesn't need anything on the outside. Doesn't need to feed on any particular type of vibration, high vibration or low vibration. It's, in a sense, everything is distant. Everything that we consider to be an object is transformed into an energetic language, a vibrational language that vibrates with each breath. This freedom, this relative freedom that you can feel, see if you can feel it in the breath. Certain temporary relative freedom from having to run around worrying about objects, touching objects, feeling dizzy by them, versus just feeling this presence in the breath. Almost like the body can finally just hang, doesn't have to be in a state of alertness. The mind doesn't have to look for anything, search for anything. So the mind and the body can just be suspended by the breath. Sort of equal each other, balance each other out with the breath as the fulcrum point. You can feel the balance, moving the weight, shifting the weight in the body so that the body takes on a more relaxed, hanging sort of position. So it's not efforting to find right versus left or up versus down. The perfection of the asana, of the seat, is coming from within. It's coming from the breath, from the energy, from the fullness. See if you can cultivate some sense of gratitude, even joy, dropping this obsessive management of objects of the world. It's almost as if, why reach for anything if awareness is already in a state of having reached there? There's nowhere to reach to that awareness hasn't already reached to. There's no need to touch anything. To, and there's an invitation to stillness there, really true stopping stillness. Like you've already found what you were looking for. And there's almost a richness that comes out of that realization, that gratitude of having found. And people feel ripples going through their body, energetics, just let, if you can notice a really divine sense of balance. The breath is really circling and settling, floating and suspended. Mind just enters into a state of appreciation, vibrational appreciation for this moment. It's perfectly arising as it is, no matter what flavor of positive or negative. If you can introduce the energy of a smile into, like, rose water being dropped into hot steaming water. So every particle starts to, that's steamed off of the water, has an element of rose in it. The ability to appreciate this moment and to allow the breath to balance and uplift the body. And guide you further. Mm. Feel like food, like the stress that we carry in our body is starving our body of food, and when we relax and unfold the breath body, it feeds the body, oxygenates it for the first time and maybe all day. So let the breath heal and nourish. Really soften everywhere. Let the whole breath be soft. Let the whole physical body be infused with the scent of softness. If you can add a bit of clarity, some sharpness in the mind, using some of that energy towards sharpening awareness. It's not a sleepy awareness, but an alert, calm awareness. If you can keep creating a perception of the breath that it's a vast, comfortable field with the clarity of calm alertness. See what you can learn here, trying to keep this going, this energizing presence. What is getting distilled right now for you? Maybe it doesn't have words, but there's a sense of grace or purity, maybe some, hopefully something enriching as a result of this practice. Try and look at it as a treasure of your practice. If you can breathe in such a way that the whole awareness field can, each atom can carry the scent of this treasure. So everywhere it's filled with this sense of joy or refinement, lack of strife or opposition or striving, whatever it is for you. Try and cultivate a relationship with the gifts of this practice, whatever they are for you. Maybe you can just acknowledge them by letting them vibrate inside of you for a while. Maybe it's just a sense of vibrating at a higher frequency, feeling of support or refuge, or feeling distilled down to your essence. Something pure reveals itself, something unchanged, unadulterated, unchanging, something in awareness itself. And spread it as wide as you can and share it with all beings everywhere. All beings everywhere find peace and happiness and joy. They learn to live without grasping, enjoy the fullness of this moment, presence. All beings everywhere. Discover the bliss of Nibbana, joy without name, without object. immediately accessible everywhere. May all beings be free. Uh,